No nanny lasted more than a week. Some left in tears, others in silence, but all fled the same mansion overlooking the cliffs, whispering one name with a shiver: the twins. They weren't violent. Not unkind. They just didn't speak. Never smiled. Never cried. Never responded. Since the helicopter crash that took their mother's life and nearly took theirs too, Ava and Leo, the 5-year-old children of billionaire pilot Jackson Rhodes, became shadows in their own home. He tried everything: top therapists, speech experts, elite schools, but nothing could crack their silence. Until a man arrived. Not in a luxury car, not with a suit and degree. But with a scar across his jaw, calloused hands, and eyes that had seen too much. Name, the guard at the mansion's gate asked. Liam Keller. I'm here about the nanny job. You were a soldier. The guard frowned at the resume. Marine. Retired. And a dad. Where are your kids? Gone, Liam said simply, voice tight. That's why I'm here. And just like that, everything began to change. If you're still watching, don't click away yet. This isn't a fairy tale. It's real. Raw. And what happened inside that cold, silent house might just change you too. Jackson Rhodes watched from his office window as the men walked across the gravel driveway toward the front door, duffel bag slung over his shoulder like it weighed nothing. Jackson had his doubts. He always did. Nannies came and went. Specialists came and failed. But something about this man was different. I don't care about the resume, Jackson told him during the interview. I care about results. If you can't make a breakthrough within a week. I'm not here to fix them, Liam interrupted gently. Just to be with them. Jackson studied him. You're not afraid they won't talk? Liam glanced at the photo of the twins on the mantel. Sometimes silence screams the loudest. I'll listen to that. The first day was no different than any other. The twins sat on opposite ends of the playroom, not looking at each other, not responding to Liam. They didn't cry when he spoke, didn't flinch when he knocked over a toy accidentally. They just existed. But Liam didn't push. Instead, he rolled out a mat, pulled a worn notebook from his bag, and sat on the floor. He began to draw. Not childish doodles, but stories, moments from his past. A stick-figure soldier with a tiny hand holding his. A tent under a desert moon. A teddy bear drawn next to a makeshift grave. He didn't explain. He just let the drawings live. He came back the next day. And the next. And by the fourth day, something changed. Leo moved closer. He didn't speak. Didn't touch. Just inched toward the paper, watching as Liam sketched a superhero who looked suspiciously like Leo. On the 6th day, Ava did something no one had seen in months. She reached out. Gently, silently, she turned the page of Liam's notebook and tapped the empty space. She wanted more. Jackson watched this unfold on the security cameras. At first, he was confused. Then, moved. He'd spent millions trying to break the wall around his children, and here was this former soldier doing it with paper, patience, and pain. One night, Jackson sat beside Liam on the porch. What's your secret? He asked. I lost my son 2 years ago, Liam replied softly. Car accident. I tried everything to keep going. Nothing worked. Then I remembered what I told him once: when you can't talk, draw. When you can't draw, listen. And when you can't listen, just sit beside someone. Sometimes that's enough. I'm just giving your kids what I never got the chance to give mine. Jackson was quiet a long while. Thank you, he finally said. On the 10th day, something miraculous happened. Ava whispered a word. Not to a therapist. Not to her father. To Liam. She pointed at a drawing he made, a picture of a man and a little girl holding hands at the beach, and said in the faintest breath, Daddy. It shattered him. Tears welled in his eyes. He nodded slowly, not wanting to scare her. I'm not your daddy, he whispered, but I'll stay as long as you need me. Leo was next. A few hours later, in the middle of a thunderstorm, he ran into Liam's room and, clutching his blanket, said, scared. Just one word. But it was everything. Weeks passed, and the twins began to change. Not overnight. But slowly. Delicately. They laughed. They drew pictures. They started calling Jackson Daddy again. Jackson cried the first time Ava jumped into his arms after work. He broke down when Leo ran to show him a crayon drawing of our family, with Jackson, the twins, and Liam. It was then Jackson knew Liam had to stay. Not as a nanny, but as family. One evening, as the sun sank behind the cliffs, Jackson called Liam out to the backyard. "I don't know what to offer a man like you," he said. "You've done more than I ever imagined." "I don't want money," Liam replied. "I